We are still intact. When he was making that particular statement, had you made the move and the decision to get out of this coalition, or was he speaking for the parties that were actually present at that particular time?
So, Brian, I want you to appreciate that every political party has its own organs and structures. Even before joining Azimio, each party in the Azimio affiliate parties had their own NEC ratified. A party is not an individual. It is the body that decides. So NAK Kenya, with the happenings that has been happening, decided in their own wisdom to actually take a back step and say, no, this house, respectfully, we respect the decision of one of the affiliate parties to do whatever they want to do, the position on dialogue, but we do not feel that view. But because you cannot usurp its democracy, and the organs of the party decide and tell you we cannot move in this direction, then you take a back step. So it is not an individual. So by the time our colleagues were doing their presser, the NEC had already ratified that, look, as NAK Kenya, we need to exit from the Azimio coalition.
So when was this conversation, when was this decision made? Was it made today? Has it been something in consideration all through? Because you've listed quite a number of things that, have, kind of a sequence of what led to what happened today.
Yeah, it has been something on the offing, like I said, a discussion that we've had, even in our position as a party in terms of the coalition. And eventually it came to a point where all the members of the party, including the NEC and all the structures of the party, felt that, you know what, we are now not, this home is no longer conducive for us. And like I said, a party is not an individual. And what happened is that over time, starting from the sequence, like I told you, from NADCO coming to the dialogue, and now we are concluding now to what just happened yesterday, you can tell from that we were always now feeling we are not in the same page. And like any vehicle, whenever you feel you're going, let's say, to Voi, and you're on the road and you decide, now I don't want to go to Voi anymore, I want to come back to Nairobi, it is courtesy that you are light and reroute to Nairobi, respectfully. They are our siblings in the coalition, but when you cannot, the differences cannot be resolved, because here we are saying no dialogue. But the constituent members and the party leader of the coalition is saying we want dialogue. So we cannot be coming to give contradictory information. So if we cannot converge on that and agree on that, then courtesy warrants that you move out.
Okay, and that's the point, because you say the leader of the coalition, that is of course Raila Odinga, one of the parties has actually decided to join government, but we still have other parties within that same coalition, which are saying the coalition is intact. So it is not the whole other, you're not, it's like one party out of the coalition that has decided to take a different direction. These other parties still maintain we are on the same route.
But Brian, can I ask you a question? A coalition is all these other parties, okay, which is correct. However, the flag bearer and one of the party cannot be waking up. There'll be no coalition if I wake up and say, NAK Kenya will move this way, ODM says we'll move this way, Wiper says we'll move this way. Then it is not a coalition anymore. We need to also be sincere. That if one party or the other party is communicating something different, courtesy warrants that you step back and say, I can't. And that's the position we've taken. And it is very categorical, because we feel where we are as a country, let's stop the games. Because what we are simply discussing, we are not going to play with the innocent lives that were cut short during the protests. We are not also going to tell Kenyans that we are coming to discuss, because even whatever is happening right now is not for the benefit of Kenyans. We also need to be very sincere. We might want to have this discussion and openly say it, because the issue at hand is the respect for the rule of law. Let's start that from the first. The second one is more of economical matters and transparency. So once the government decides that we are going to now dilute the opposition, and one of the affiliate members agrees, and you're telling us it's a coalition, then it means any other member of the same coalition can wake up and do everything or anything they want. So is that tenable? The reason why it is a coalition is because you converge for one ideology, You might disagree, but the formal ideology and what you stand for moves in one direction.
Okay.
The minute everyone is speaking their own thing, Brian, then there's no coalition, and that's the truth.
Okay. So what has the relationship been, and where did the rain start beating this coalition since the 2022 elections? Because there were hopes from your supporters that you will go all the way to 2027 to some extent. Where did it go wrong?
Like I said,
and how has the relationship been within?
We've had a very good relationship. However, we differ in opinion. And like I said earlier, we differ in opinion because even let's start with the latest. When you come and say you want to have dialogue, we cannot come, we say he who comes to equity must come with clean hands. You cannot talk of dialogue in the same paragraph while there are people still being shot, there are people still being arrested with frivolous charges, and we are not actually dealing with the issue at hand. There are so many people who died since the protest started.
All right.
Do you want to tell me those lives don't matter?
They do. And I want to wind up on this conversation. So what's next? What's the next step for the NARC Kenya party?
For us, like we said, we are a party that is guided by the organs. NEC will retreat again and give the direction, but we are simply saying we are not boarding on dialogue. We have no interest in joining Ruto's cabinet or government, out of the fact that for us it is not us joining the government. It is the government actually delivering. These Kenyans, Brian, wake up each morning, work very hard. This is a hard-earned taxpayers' money. We want it to be used as per the law. Okay. And we want the government to actually step up. So we cannot come and preach here and tell people that we want this, but at the same time we're looking for our own interest. The whole issue is we want this country a better place and actually ensure that the rule of law is respected and Kenyans feel part and parcel of the government. Okay. So as we speak, we are not boarding in terms of joining the government. As a party, we have no intention of joining the government. We have no intention of having that dialogue because everything is on the wall. You do not need dialogue to discuss pertinent matters affecting this country, including corruption. All right. You know the people who did this, their entities constitutionally mandated, arraign them in court. Let's see you doing the job.
If the remaining parties say you are welcome again to form another formation, is that a possibility, yes or no?
In politics, we never say never. Okay. So at that point and at that juncture, we will discuss. But for now, what we are simply saying as a party is that let us respect the rule of law. We have no interest in joining government. We also have no enmity. What we are simply saying is the people of Kenya deserve better and that the law must be respected.
Thank you so much, Asha Bashir, Secretary General, NARC Kenya, just trying to make sense of the developments that happened today after the party decided that it will be quitting the Azimio coalition. We do want to take a short break. We'll be back with more in just a short time.
Are you a church and seeking to reach an even bigger congregation?